Good evening and welcome to twitch.tv. This is WriterGreg, and glad that you could join me for this evening's stream of evening edits, where we will be working on polishing the prose that we have worked on either on your own or in a morning march. And I'm glad to have everyone here. Thanks to everyone who's already in the chat, being ready to go. This is really exciting. And there is a new thing that is happening. I have added the donations to the new challenge. I announced it Tuesday night and also in the morning. And so if I open up Twitch, let's jump over to the screen already. It pops up once I click on the donation counter thing. Okay. Thanks, Moonflower. Let me look at. Hopefully, I won't get an echo, and if I do, I'll just hurry and mute it. There we go. So it looks like here I can go in and click the lemons. All right. Oh, the rewards and challenges. All right. There at the top, we have the 1 million lemons challenge, and in that Moonflower has already donated 2,000, and only my viewers can contribute, so it doesn't look like that, but I did use a test account and I was able to donate 250 points, 250 lemons, and I think, and what a Moonflower is telling me, that its max contribution per stream is reached if you donate 2,000. So what I'm hoping is that means you would only be able to donate 2,000 per stream as opposed to 2,000 per challenge or per user. So we'll just have to play that by ear. We can check again tomorrow morning or in another evening stream what is going to happen with that. And we have just the fun. Let's do the wave. There's the second one. All right. Let's see. Can I get the third? There's the third one. Okay. We're done with that. I'd like to thank everyone from the Anvilite Streamer Corps for their support. And there is a new thing, which is rather cool. Great. I appreciate that, Moonflower. Here is the Anvilite, twitter.com Anvilite, and you would be able to follow everyone who posts, who's a member of the Anvilite Streamer Corps, and receive a Twitter notification or a tweet that all of our members who are going live. And so you can see that 17 minutes ago, this was tweeted out. Now this goes out 15 minutes before my scheduled time. Now I do try to get online, on stream, as close to the top of the hour as I can, or as my computer tells me to go, and then I try to start the stream with between 15 and 10 minutes before. So if you get this notification 15 minutes before, please be patient. I will be here, but I start talking at the top of the hour. But really appreciate the Anvilite Streamer Corps for setting that up. And of course, the calendar is available, and if you use the command in the chat ASC and put that in, you will then be able to receive a link to the Anvilite Streamer Corps and be able to visit that page at any time you want. Okay, I do have some other streams other commands in there, but we'll talk about those maybe another time. All right, so tonight we have on the docket, looking at my writing statuses, we are going to be focusing on editing tonight. We will be doing sprints and 10-minute sprints, and during that time you may use it for writing new fiction writing articles or joining me and working on edit. So I won't have a thing to a word count. Hello, Esongbird 24601. Yes, Fly Free Jailbird and Gambate. Welcome. Dinosaur Bob, Dazzler Cat, Walking Dead Lover. Welcome, everybody. And you made it right before the sprint. DM Stretch, welcome. Okay, as I was mentioning before, let me briefly mention it again. Yes, you made it before the sprint. Good job. I do have the new chat challenge of 1 million lemons for the 24-hour NaNoWriMo stream. If you click on the lemon down there at the bottom, you will see the 1 million lemons, and there's 25 days left. Now, don't worry about that. I am only allowed to create a challenge for up to 30 days. And as I was setting that up, I thought, okay, I'll have a August, September, October, November, and I'll just have the different parts. But the interesting thing is I can actually extend a challenge as many as up to 30 days in the future. So I will just need to remember, as the 25 days comes to a close, I will just extend it out another 30 days and keep doing that until November 25th. November 25th is the day before Thanksgiving, or the Wednesday, the fourth Wednesday of the month, and 5 days before the stream. So I'll be able to just extend this same challenge out. So you can ignore the part 1, but once I started it, I had to keep it going. I can't edit it now. So the 1 million lemons challenge is underway for the next three months probably. And Moonflower was helping me before and has already donated 2,000 lemons. So that is already off and going. The interesting thing is that we believe that you're only allowed to donate a maximum of 2,000 lemons per stream, because all right, DM Stretch has contributed 2,000 lemons. Thank you so much. And should I be thanking you? You want me to stay up all night. There's Walking Dead Lover. There's Sable Aradia. All right. I believe I couldn't see the message, but what Moonflower says is you've now reached the maximum for this stream, I believe is the language. I'll need to scroll back. Wait, no. Oh, yeah. Let me switch keyboards. Yeah, Moonflower was going to send me a screenshot, and it just came up. Go to Discord there. Yeah, max contribution per stream reached. Where if you click the lemons in the chat, the little lemon icon in the chat window, you'll be able to click that and donate up to 2,000. And for every time I stream, which is twice a day, you would be able to donate 2,000 lemons, and that would be included in the morning and the evening in both of those streams. So you'll be able to earn, I don't know how many lemons you would earn per. Not seeing the challenge. Maybe my phone app will check at desk shortly. Okay, Dinosaur Bob. Yeah. Not sure how. This is the first time I've run a challenge, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I think it's going to be fun. Okay. And I'm just going to have to remind myself to hydrate, because now you all want to make sure that you save those lemons for nefarious means. Thanks for the screenshot, Moonflower. I really appreciate it. Yeah, my phone's not showing it either. I don't use my phone for Twitch on anything because I'm always at my desk. All right, so cool. So there we go. That challenge is off and running. You just reminded me my bottle of water has run out. I'll have to get the other one. And that, my dear streamers, is why I have the 2 bottles. If I drink, I think this is like 2 liters. This is a liter, I think. If I drank 2 liters in 2 hours, I think, okay, it does look at. All right, I'll do that. By the way, if I redeem the brainstorm thing, would you be able to just read over an article 720 words and tell me if there's any glaring errors? Sure. Yeah. Sable, I'm coordinating ASC Rymos to do some joint projects for Nano. Are you wanting guests on your 24-hour stream? We would love to back you up. Most likely, yes. The idea that we were bouncing around this morning was to do a 24-hour short story challenge. And what that would mean, all right, thank you, Moonflower. Let me scroll down all the way to the bottom. Okay. And yes, and the evening edit streams on Tuesday and Thursday nights are the nights where I will do live feedback and critiques of articles and things like that. And I'll be working on story edits of my own in the meantime. So yes, I am willing to have viewers or other Anvilites who would be willing to come together and talk about whatever about writing. The idea, though, that we were the morning chat and I were talking about is having a 24-hour, hey Galadan, a 24-hour short story writing challenge where collaboratively in the stream. Oh, don't worry, I just blather. The idea would be is that I would put votes. I would put out polls in the chat, and I don't know if I can do this, but I would hope that we would then be able to vote with bits, not channel points, with bits to who, and the winner would be the direction or the answer that we will take for the story, and all monies generated by the polls will be donated to a children's literacy charity. We've already had a couple suggestions. The 826 National, the World's Children's Literary.org, I think it was. And so if anyone out there knows of a reputable 503c non-political charity that focuses on children's literacy or on especially young writers. I know NaNoWriMo has children's literacy program, but this is going to be during NaNoWriMo. They're going to be Zoolander Center. Okay, if you have any ideas of a charity that we can contribute to for voting on how the story that will go, how it will go, please let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to research on how to do the voting with bits so that we can fundraise and make a donation in some name. I don't know. It'd probably be my check or something like that. I don't know. But then we would donate all of the proceeds from the 24-hour stream to a child literacy charity organization that is reputable. And so, Galadan, if you can send me a link, there may be limitations on, since I'm in the United States, I may have to donate into the United States. Yeah, I think it would have to be in my name, but I could put on the memo, and maybe if if they don't care, I mean, it'd be my name on the check, but it still could be on behalf of something like that. But yeah, so that is the main idea. I don't know if that's going to be a whole need to take cell phone, because it's 7 o'clock and everyone wants to email me at 7 o'clock. Actually, it's my Webtoons notification. I like Webtoons. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we're going to go. That's the idea. However, Sable, to answer the question, in between all of that, while I could reveal a vote, I could have people vote, interview a member of the streamer core during that time, close the poll, and then that person and I could then work on that answer for a little while, and then just rinse, lather, repeat for the 24 hours, depending on how many people would like to volunteer. And no, I will not, repeat, not eat spicy chocolate. I'm sorry, I have my limits. Bless all of those who can eat spicy chocolate, but I just cannot. Okay, maybe chocolate. Maybe just, nice Belgian. There's this place called the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Company here in Utah, because Rocky Mountains and yeah. Okay, a spicy beef jerky, maybe. But yeah, the Rocky Mountain chocolate, they have these candied apples. It's like apple candy around the apple. Okay, so we do have an article here from Moonflower that I'm going to read and do a live critique. And I got this new toy. Here we are. I got this new toy, so I'm hoping that it works. It didn't really work well the other night. There we are. You can probably see that. It's nothing that it's not what the toy can do, but it's okay. It's not. See, if I take no, not that. If I change this to a pencil, then I can draw on the screen, and then I can clear that off. So when I'm going through, no, okay, see, and then I have to hide that so that I can zoom in. So as I'm going along here, it is a digital red pencil, but see, it's blue. See, it's blue. It's not red. I mean, there. Does that take the fear of the red pen away? Happy Valentine's, everybody. Okay. So I'll just probably need to. Nope, I can't even do that. Okay. Hellenism. All right, let's get into the article here. Hellenism. Is there any way to get rid of that thing, the World Codex thing? Or do I just need to hide the writing? It's the attack of the red. Oh, come on. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Let me make it a smaller dot. All right, Helmet. Why do I have to make this so much more difficult for me? All right, Hellenism, also known as the Hellenic religion, is the largest of the three denominations of Rothism. The followers of Hellenism are known as Helamites. Helamites believe that the 35 deities of Rothism have physical forms that they are able to take at will. Okay, so here we have Helamites and the they. And so, and then we have deities. And what the problem is that we have, this is your subject, and the they is a noun that you have, is a verb, no, is a Helamites, yeah. The they that we have here is a pronoun, but we have two possible nouns that this is referring to. So the Helamites believe that the 35 deities of Rotham have physical form, and I would probably just get rid of the and. So instead of saying that they, I would say and they, because that would make sure that we're clearly referring to the deities. The deities, and not to the Helamites themselves. Oh, that was fun. Okay, Cainism. Also known as the... No, wait. This was a different pronunciation when we were talking about religions. Yeah, this is moonflowers. Okay, I'm going to say Cainism, but I think it might have been pronounced differently. Oh, KN. Okay, Cainism, also known as the Cainite religion, is the second largest of the three denominations of Rothism. The followers of Cainism are known as Cainites. Cainites believe that the 35 deities of Rothism are concepts, and as such cannot take physical forms. See, this is good because you don't have the they in here, so we don't have that confusion of what does that pronoun refer to. So that's good. Cainites do believe that the deities have wills of their own. All right, good. So Helicism, also known as the Helic religion, is the smallest of the three denominations of Rothism. The followers of Helicism are known as Helicites. Helicites believe that the 35 deities of Rothism are all aspects of a singular deity, which they have named Delmenia, after the name of the world. Okay, I'm not seeing, based off something I can't remember, to be honest. Okay, I don't see really any problems here. Okay, Pantheon. There are 35 deities in the Pantheon of Rothism spread over 5 categories. The categorized deities are... Okay, do I need to embarrass myself and try to pronounce all of these names? The rest is just listing stuff. Okay. The brightening, cycling. Ooh, I like that. Cycling, twinkling, romancing, receiving. Okay. The winning. Okay. Giving, enjoying, resting. Varna, the freezing, blowing, cold wind, and the north. Ice, rain, thawing, springs, hibernation, beginning, and seeds. Life, growth, wild, heat, sand, glass, and forge. Ooh, I like that. Dust, air, weapons. Art, autumn, plants, harvest, secret, storage, preparation. Okay. Oh, see, okay, dying. Okay. Okay, the only issue here is the north that you have. And the only reason that's an issue is because where you have Axon the Blowing, a deity of the north, I would expect that you would have a deity of south, east, and west as well. And so I'm not seeing that. So that's just a consistency issue. They may only worship the north. Like we have a North Star, but we also have a Southern Cross. Well, there's the east winds, and well, yeah. That's just the only thing I have a question of right there. Okay. water, earth, air, fire. Okay. Hope, faith, trust. Flower. Just. I like the groupings that you have here. I think they're. Yeah, I think this is really good. Good job. Rothism. Yeah. Okay, there are deities of other directions. I just forgot to put that. Yeah, that's cool. Oops. We'll get back to that. Thank you. Okay, Moonflower has donated 100 lemons for Galadan. All right, Galadan, what would you like to talk about? I was looking for a way to put my article link in with points. Okay. Yeah, all right, throw in your article. We'll take a look at it. And oh no, I guess I don't need to wait. All right. Crimson Quill. Oh yeah. This. Yes. Yes. See, this is all the yeses right here. We'll use yellow for this one. We'll make this a nice big. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, sorry. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm not sorry. Okay, let's get back to the top here. The Crimson Quill. My descriptiveness has been lacking recently, so that's what we're looking for is description. Are we talking more of a physical description? Are we talking more of a... I guess what I just got to remember to use it. Okay. All right, descriptiveness. I'll start reading. So tell me what kind of descriptions you're thinking about. Okay. Around Lord Theosy, each generation, the greatest minds and artisans naturally gravitate. To be in Sommeil is the peak for every courtesan. For in those beautiful halls your skills will be seen, your wits tested, and your character valued. Book of the Courtesan. Working through that post-summer camp slump. Yeah, I'm writing more wiki-style works now instead of the sort of feel and imagine evoking stuff I wrote earlier this month. Okay. Oh, sorry. In 130 AR, Morel I Thuasi founded the Crimson Quill to fill the demand for an expansion of the Library of Sommeil's facilities. This allowed many of the librarians previously involved in the lectures at the Academy to choose between the two, either joining the Quills or becoming full-time instructors. The Crimson Quill focused on proactive scholarship, which is the act of going out into the world and recording events as they happen, as well as retrieving first-hand accounts of cultural practices from around the world. I would probably just put that as a period there. At the recording events as they happen. And so, probably something like this includes or something like that. This includes this also includes retrieving first-hand accounts. Again, a little long. This allows the Library of Sommet to expand from a simple repository of books and scrolls to a unique collection of original materials. Excellent. Pre-reform. From their founding in 130 AR until the reign of Lord Elric I Thuasi in 239 AR, the Crimson Quill gradually grew in bureaucracy until too bloated to effectively perform even their primary mission of recording history. Again, I would probably period there, because that's the first idea that you have, is that they grew in bureaucracy. Or like, and then, they became too bloated or the quills to prevent confusion there. Iron Frost Tips 85. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. We are just doing some live critiques. Okay. While at their start, the group functions smoothly. I'd probably just, and then capitalize. The leadership positions of the Quill began to fill with local nobility. Yeah, because those are two independent clauses, because they each have a subject and a verb. They functioned and began to fill. I don't know. Began to fill is more. I don't know I'm not very good with all of the different tenses, but I personally, when I write, especially fiction, I try to just use simple past tense. So I would say, instead of began to fill, I would just say filled, and just keep it simple past tense the whole way around. Because this is a scholarly type article, a simple past tense for all of your verbs, I think, will clean it up and make it easier for the person to read through it. And if you do that, I think it'll simplify your sentences a lot. Okay, eventually, given the method of co-optation, is that co-opetition? I need the pen. This is what? Okay, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. It's not going to focus. This is the XP pen, and I wanted to have a second monitor down here, so I bought the XP pen drawing tablet. It's similar to a Wacom drawing tablet that functions as a monitor. So, like, right there. And you said it right the first time. Co-optation. Okay. Yeah, and then this I just found this app here. What's it called? I don't know what it's called. It's just a drawing thing, and they had a free version. And if they, it's good enough because it has, more colors than I really need. And yeah, I just think it's fun, because I was missing this during summer camp. And I won't use red. Dinosaur Bob, I promise. Okay. Okay. So eventually, given the method of co-optation for filling the Crimson Quill's ranks, membership became either hereditary or purchasable. This naturally attracted those with more of an interest in personal profit than the preservation of history. Very nice fact that you have there. I like that and how it tells us that. See, and I think if I go down here, this is eraser mode, and then I can just go in here and draw over the stuff and it'll erase it too. But I learned that I need to have this pen, the nib, almost touching the screen to be able to switch it from eraser to drawing. Okay, however, the issue in reforming the Crimson Quill largely came from the lack of control over the group by House Thuacy, period. Despite their high patronage of the organization, House Thuacy itself did not control any leadership positions, and it technically operated independent of the House. You don't... Oh, you come on. You don't need itself. The House did not control any leadership positions, and okay, in 238 AR, however, that changed, with the new Lord Thuacy, Elric I, purchasing the position of Chief Quill for himself and beginning the reformation of the organization. Okay, post-reform. In 239 AR, the new Chief Quill, Lord Thuacy, sought to shake up the Quills from the inside. However, it would be difficult to go about them himself given his other tasks as head of the noble house and as their rhetor, necessitating frequent travel to the capital, Meridia. Okay, however, it would be difficult to go about himself, given the other... It's a long sentence, but it is one thought with the list. Yeah. To truly reform the group, Elric needed a partner as described, dedicated to the Quills. Oh, delete. Dedicated to the Quills and the simple pursuit of knowledge as he was. It's odd to expand pronunciation. Am I expounding my... It's good to expound pronunciation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Lord Thuacy found this in Gregory of the Tree, a retired innkeeper who would volunteer to edit notes day after day for nothing but the love of knowledge. New glasses came in a week and haven't been sleeping well, as it is really no fault of your own. Oh man, new glasses can really mess you up. Ain't that the truth? Every morning, just as the sun crested the horizon, I began my trek from my home outside the walls of the library to sit in its courtyard beneath that lemon tree. There I busied myself volunteering to edit the quickly scrawled reports of quills wandering far and wide, for eventual use in books. For some reason, Lord Thuacy thought that would make me a good caretaker of the library, and started me on my path. Why? I'll never know. Thuacy. I'll only correct you because it's a common name in my work. Okay, Thuacy. Okay, thanks, Thuacy. Yeah. Now, this is here a quote out of this, and so I'm not going to comment on the language of how this is, because you, as the author of this article, you are quoting, Gregory of the Tree, and so this may be how Gregory wrote, and so however you have it is how it should be written, and that would be a way to distinguish your voice as the author of the article and the voice of Gregory, of whom you are quoting here. So we will just leave that as is. Okay. Creating for Gregory the House Lemon, an appointed minor house, Lord Thuisi elevated him to chief archivist of the Crimson Quills. With this fellow erudite at his side, he began his reforms of the organization. First, the position of acolyte was introduced, requiring aspiring quills to give up their loyalties to a noble house, as well as any wealth which they could not bring with them. These acolytes were housed in the library itself, where they would toil in the upkeep of knowledge, until apprenticing under an archivist or rover, and eventually moving up in the ranks. This removed the influence of heredity or purchasable ranks. Okay. This is meant to be the center of knowledge for all the world. Yet thee have made it a center of leeches. Leave mine halls of learning, ye seventh sons of so-called noble houses. May thy corpulent forms not block the entrance. Alaric Thuisi, inscribed above the entrance of the central hall of the library. May thy corpulent forms not block the entrance. It would be thine, corpulent, as opposed to thy. But yeah, don't let the door hit your butt on the way out. Yeah, it would be thine, corpulent. But that is funny. And to have him inscribe that above the entrance. Lord Thuisi also introduced the erudite board, including all those who may have a stake in both the financial and archival aspects of the quills. Sitting upon this board were the chief quill, chief archivist, and arch rover. I thought thine. Yeah, he got a little Jesus and the money changers on him. Yeah. Okay, not. Please don't take this as sacrilegious, but one of the funniest jokes I like is when you think of what would Jesus do, remember, whipping people and throwing tables over is within your realm of possibility. Yeah. So thy comes before a consonant sound and thine before a vowel. Thy corpulent? Okay, I thought it was more like possessive. And maybe, yeah, so I could be wrong on that, as I don't use sacred pronouns very much, except for reading them. They're both the possessive form of you. Oh, okay. I thought a roving group of writers would be a good spot to slip some World Anvil people into. Flips the table. Yeah. People don't, I don't think people realize what a radical Jesus was. I mean, I don't think people truly understand. Anyway, this isn't Sunday school. Lord Thuisi also introduced. Oh wait, we already read that part. Arch rover, as well as a number of nobles from other houses who have provided patronage to the group, and a number of reputable scholars from the academy or wider world. The position of chief quill was made hereditary to House Thuwaisi for oversight purposes, and the position of chief archivist given to House Lemon for their founder's dedication. Yeah, not to mention intentionally breaking the law and laughing at the authorities about it. Well, it depends. Okay, so I am going to go a little Sunday school on you. There are two different things. There is the Law of Moses, as described in the 5 books of Moses, which are traditionally found as the first 5 books of the Christian Old Testament, and there were then the traditions of the fathers, which were added by the Pharisees and Sadducees that were living at the time of Christ and before, primarily after the Maccabean revolt of 400 BC, when the Grecos, the Hellenistic Grecos, were kicked out by the Maccabeans. Then that's where we get Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights. And so Jesus never broke the Mosaic law. He broke the traditions of the fathers that served as like a buffer or a cushion, because if you never break the traditions of the fathers, then you never break the law of Moses. So Jesus never broke the law of Moses, but yeah, he went all over the place on the traditions of the fathers, because they were not they were not given in the law of Moses. No matter how much Catholic school I go to, I'll always defer to people from around Utah on theology. What can I say? I stayed awake in seminary. Pharisees and Sadducees were... Generally, yes, but there were also many good people within the Pharisees and Sadducees that are the exceptions that prove the rule. I read something that says that Jesus the Anointed One roughly translates to modern day Oily Jake. Jesus is more closely related to Joshua, so then Jesus is a Greek word of Yeshua, so it would be closer to say that Jesus, if he, oily Josh. No, anointed does, okay. Yes, they anointed with oil, but that doesn't mean that he was oily, because in modern English, to say one is oily refers more to a snake oil salesman than, yes, Josh upon whom they placed oil. Yes. Oh, it's something you read. I know it's not true. Okay, thank you. I don't, yeah, I got to be careful. 6 a.m. seminary. I was not awake then. I'll be, yeah, I had release time. I know, I'm spoiled. Anyway, rank and duties. There's a big difference between the laws of faith and the rules of a culture, and sometimes the rules of culture are unjust and need to be changed. Most religious founders are rebels against the culture's most oppressive traditions. Jesus was no exception. I will agree with that statement. The only additional clarification in that is that in the Jewish Palestine of the meridian of time, there was no separation of church and state. The rules of faith were the rules of culture. And so, but in all intents and purposes, I do like what you say there. It's like the laws of the land versus the law of, culture. Yeah. But yeah, most religious founders are rebels against a culture's most oppressive traditions. Yeah. Hate you, spoiled release time seminary. Hey. if I had the opportunity to go to early morning, I would have taken it. I didn't like that I was forced to take release time because it prevented me from taking additional classes in high school. I wanted early, 0 hour seminary, and that's just me. They didn't give us the option. I would have taken it. When I lived in California, that was all that was available, and I thought it was, yeah. Sorry. What are you talking about? 4 a.m. is not a good time for learning. Unfortunately, for my early morning stream, I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Gotta shower and shave before I stream. Yeah, but it's true. This must be a mountain land. Yeah. In the state of Utah, the Board of Education allows students of any faith to go to what's called a seminary, which is a religious study. And in the town that I grew up in, our high school had 3 seminaries. There was a Baptist seminary, a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or Mormon seminary, and then there was a non-denominational seminary around our high school. And for 1 hour a day, so instead of going to your third period math class, you would go to your third period seminary release time class. 4 a.m. is only the time for learning if you haven't gone to bed yet. Yeah. No, I've always been an early bird, and I married into a family and raised a bunch of night owls. So that's why at the end of the stream at 9 o'clock, I just disappear. All right, let's get through this article. All right, administers, Chief Quills. This is the head of the Crimson Quill, and generally held by the patriarch of House Thuaisi or another member of the family appointed by Lord Thuaisi. The amount of active involvement in the management of the quills is decided upon by the dedication of the chief quill, but regardless, they are the main oversight for the group and lead the erudite board. Beyond this, they are also expected to complete a great scholarly work during their tenure, or some other sort of landmark achievement, such as an expansion of the library or acquisition of rare artifacts. Oh, I'm a vampire. It's currently 2:52 a.m. DM stretch. Mad respects. Erudite Board. This group was created following the reforms of an oversight board for the Crimson Quills. Given the high amount of patronage received by the group in the library, not only by House Thuaisi, but by rural nobles as well, for whom the organization means so much, the Quills are expected to handle the money and trust they receive in a responsible manner. Okay, we need to. Okay, so given the high amount of pagers, and not only of the House of the but for our. Okay, that is a long sentence. Okay, at minimum, I would split it off right there. Yeah. I like the ideas, and I don't think I would reword that sentence. I would just literally just split it off there after so much and the quills and just put that as a period. The erudite board exists to facilitate this, and upon it sits the chief quill, chief archivist, archrover, 3 nobles from the houses other than House Thuaisi, whose families have provided continued contribution of patronage, funds, or books, and 2 or 3 scholars from the academy or elsewhere. Okay. You're saying facilitate this. I'm assuming that you're talking about handling the money. Who's? Yeah, I think you're right. Who's? Yeah, this again is when we get into long lists of things like that. That always is a danger for run-on sentences, especially if the items that you are listing are items that. Yeah, and see, that's a fair thing. Academic history works and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess I am bringing a genre fiction mentality to nonfiction work here when I talk about sentences. Um, but I guess just when you're listing things, it's just something to watch out for. Okay, archivist. Okay, archival branch. Chief archivist. The chief archivist is based in the Library of Sommet itself and is responsible for the oversight of the building. This position is traditionally held by a member of House Lemon, an appointed minor house created by the Thuwaisi family for Gregory of the Tree. During the reforms of the Crimson Quill, he or she is a member. Okay, okay, no, wait, sorry. An appointed minor house created by the Thuwaisi family for Gregory Tree during the reforms of the Crimson Quill. Period. Okay. Writing the writing of academic work and the writing of prose are two different skills. Very true. Very true. He or she is a member of the erudite board, serving for life or until dismissed. Period. Generally, the chief archivist is expected to complete a series of books during their tenure or some other sort of magnum opus. Okay. Would you want to describe? Oh, but this is great creative work here that you're doing, Galadan. This is great creative work. I would be interested. Here you talk about until dismissed. I would be intrigued to know under what condition a person would be dismissed. I'd just add a sentence or two about that. Um, what would require? I mean, is it like an impeachment, or is it just you're old, thanks, goodbye, see you later, or is it a scandal to be dismissed? I don't know. There, these are the largest branch of the Crimson Quills, working in the Library of Sommet. There are archivists. There The archivists are responsible for the creation of new books, maintenance of existing ones, upkeep of the facilities, and the organization of the library itself. These quills must have an encyclopedic knowledge of the library and be available for the assistance of any guests, especially students and faculty from Academy Sommet. Question. Um, oh, see you, Songbird. You're probably already gone. Um, Question, Galadan. Has the printing press been invented in your world at this time? Because that the idea of the archivist having to create books and maintain books that are not created through a printing press method, but have to be done by hand and stuff like that. It has, but there is not mass production. Okay, so would archivists still have access to a printing press? There are also hand done ones. Okay. I just think that would be also a cool description, because for those us modern people who would be reading this, it would be a really a fun insight, a fun description to know how the books are created, and if, what is there a certain situation on why a book would be done by hand, because there may be a lot of illuminated artistry in it, where you get the gold and all the cool paint, or are some books just printed? Well, they need to upkeep older pre-press works, yeah, but yeah, there needs to be a bookmaking article somewhere. Cool. Heck, there needs to be a technology explanation one somewhere too. It's like onions. There's layers. There's layers and layers of onions. Shrek. Okay. Roving branch. A grizzled older man, sunburnt and hunched under the weight of his pack, is not the eventual victim of some brigand on the road. Rather, he is the keeper of Anhara's history, maintainer of her traditions, and guide of her children. The Crimson Quill, a history. Cool. Barbarossa, welcome. Good evening, Mr. Greg of the Writers League of Union Writers Free Alliance. Redundancy Office of Redundancy. Thank you for the ever-expanding title. That's fun. Oh, I'm not going to be here on Saturday. I have soon I'll have to make a paragraph. Hey, more the merrier. I'm not going to be here on Saturday. I'm going spending time with my family, and I have Discord for Dummies. I just came in Amazon a while ago. Sir Greg in the article. Yeah. And so I'm going to be reading that, and then we can start the giving of titles over in a Discord server or something. I just have to figure that out, because I do want to get a Discord server started. Sir Greg and yes, Gregory of the Tree. Gregory of the Tree is in this article, so I'm really happy about this. All right. Excuse me. The Arch Rover generally remains in the library of Sommet and leads the roving branch of the Crimson Quills. From the map room high within the top dome of the library, he is responsible for sending rovers out to particular regions of the world to proactively record history or to send them on more specific missions. Period. Like his fellow quills of similar rank, the Arch Rover serves for life or until dismissed and sits on the erudite board. Rover. A rover is the most iconic member of the Crimson Quill and is the public face of the organization. These are scholars dispatched on the duty of proactively recording history, which is the gathering of primary sources and recording events as they occur. The Arch Rover sends these writers across the known world to meet everyone from world leaders to everyday people and record their lives, their culture, and events unfolding around them. These quills must also gather books, scrolls, or other interesting artifacts to return to the library or museum in Sommet. Many roving quills specialize in a particular type of historical or cultural writing, be it recording myths and religious beliefs, high politics, and anything in between. Good. It would be fun to know more about because thinking from a writer's point of view, I think the rover would be a fun person to write a story about, or to have as a character in a role-playing game. And immediately coming to mind is Beauregard from Critical Role Season 2 as a monk of the Cobalt Soul. She doesn't, I mean, she doesn't really typify what a monk of education would be, and that makes her a fun character. But I could see someone who's very studious and into stories would be a fun, like an Indiana Jones in a fantasy setting. I could really see that being a fun way to tell this story. A story of a rover. Yeah. I and the character flaw of a heroic rover is that they consistently are trying to insert themselves into the history as opposed to recording the history. That would be fun because that's good. I was brainstorming short story topics today. Oh yeah, this could be a fun anthology just waiting to happen, and a good way to explore different areas of your world. Because if you have Indiana Jones, but a less adventure based, but more scholarly, a more watcher, like if you took Indiana Jones and mixed him with Doctor Who and threw away the whip and the screwdriver and the regeneration, uh, that would be a fun character because that person would go in, observe with the intention of observing, but keep having, struggling to not become involved, but still becomes involved anyway. So this rover is trying really hard just to observe, but keeps getting caught up in the adventures or the cultural high politics, uh, discovering that myths aren't that mythical. That would be fun. But then I love that kind of story too. And you could have a whole bunch of people. It wouldn't have to be just one Indiana Jones. It could be a troupe. Like you could have a power trio, three people that travel together. One focuses on religion, one focuses on politics, one focuses on cultural, and you could have that trio of personalities that play well and bounce off of each other, and kind of like the protagonist and his lancer. In the idea of the five-man band, the lancer often serves as an antagonist to the hero. And well, you could make a five-man band. Literally, just have five of these rovers going around having adventures, trying to record history and not trying to influence it too much. But anyway, sorry, this is your world, not mine. Sorry. Acolytes. These are essentially apprentice quills training to become either rovers or archivists. These members are required to have renounced ties to a noble house, given up any wealth, and must train in the library for a number of years. After a time, they are sent with an archivist to rover to shadow them on their tasks, before eventually being able to ascend to a real rank themselves. This was a crucial feature of the reforms of 239 AR and solved the issue of hereditary ranks and cronyism which plagued the quills. Yeah. Very fun article. Looks like the acolyte is the lancer. Um, hmm. The lancer is real. The lancer could be just anyone um, who stands in opposition to the main person. I mean, if you look at the new Voltron series, yeah, he's the foil. Yes, the Lancer is the foil, but not always in an antagonistic way. Just always getting in his way, in the way of the like. Uh, I would never call Ron Weasley a Lancer, but he often served as a reality check for Harry. The book Ron, not the movie Ron. There's a big difference. Yeah. But see, you could have a lot of fun with a 5-man band of rovers, one or two of whom are acolytes. One is the grizzled, experienced one. Two are the energetic ones who have just become rovers, and they just go around as a group. And you could have some really fun interactions as a group of 5 if they, you want or to travel with that many, or you could just have a trio. That just really depends. Speeds up my short story brainstorming. Yeah, one idea that I had was for me, for my world of Saga Dorm, is that I would have something, I would tell the fairy tales of the world as it was passed down. So I would create original fairy tales, not retelling Cinderella or Snow White or Sleeping Beauty or da 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 da. But I would say, okay, this is a new fairy tale for this world, and that's what my current work in let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, the Celestials Condescension. That is actually an original an original work that I have that is going to be a brand new fairy tale in the world of Saga Dorm. Excellent. It is 8 o'clock, and we haven't done any sprints. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you so much, Galadan, for sharing. And sorry, my dog kept me awake way too much last night. Yeah, thank you for the honor of being made a part of your world. And I will not try to do karaoke, but sometimes you can take the boy out of the choir, you just can't take the choir out of the boy. DM Stretch, off to bed now. Good night. Catch you later. Oh, you're in the East Coast. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, my dog decided it wanted to whine for like a half an hour in the middle of the night, and I got to bed late anyway, so. Oh yeah, I know that DM he mentioned earlier it's like 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, stupid o'clock. That is so true. Yeah. No, yeah. DM Stretch is in the UK. I knew you were Eastern time zone. I didn't know which state though. Okay. Awesome. Uh Now, did everyone who came in on the East Songbird raid, did you hear about the announcements about how the 1 million lemon challenge has been opened up and how you can now donate that? There we go. Barbarossa Sparkle has contributed 2,000 lemons to the 1 million lemons challenge. Okay. So every time you come, you're allowed to donate up to 2,000 per stream. So, and I will keep that challenge going. All right, we're already at 1%. Um, for no reason. Welcome. So yeah, I know some of you have like 8 and 10,000 lemons already. You'll just need to come by for each stream and donate, drop another 2,000, and we'll uh, start building it up. You were too close, so close to 20K. Oh, no worries for no reason. Yeah, thanks for lurking. Dinosaur Bob, thank you. Barbarossa, I decided what type of world Dwinra is. Well, what type of world is it? Let's get some music going again. It's a flintlock fantasy world set in the 1850s of a fantasy world. That is fun. I love the new genre mashes together. The flintlock fantasy. That is cool. So when you say, okay, 1850s, that's Civil War. That's the United States Civil War. Is that? Because I think, was it? I know, is that 1844, the Civil War? Civil War still used muskets up until 1860s. Oh, the Civil War was in the 1860s. Okay, so this is pre-Civil War. Okay. Crimean War. Ah, okay. Cool. Yeah. Usually when you think the First World War, yeah, Russia, France, England, US, Germany, Mexican War-ish, yeah. Um, Usually when people think of Westerns, I believe, in my limited knowledge of it, I think it is much later, post-Mexican War. Like 1890s, I'm guessing. Oh, yeah. Barbarossa. Hey, we were psychically linked right there. Yeah, the 1890s to 1910s is the Wild West. Spanish-American War. Yeah. All right. Anyone else have anything they'd like to chat about, or should we start? Should we have an editing session here? Ben and oh, Western is usually post-Civil War through 1900s. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that. In the meantime, the United States saw its peak on mass migration to the American West that particularly made the nation experience an economic boom, as well as a rapidly increasing population. Okay, that's what Wikipedia said. Weirdly enough, the 1850s to 1880s had muskets, but was the largest advances in steam power and industrialization. So it was an odd mix of industrialization and muskets. Does anyone know when the first bullets, as we understand a bullet, is? Like a 6-shooter, the Colt 45 revolver, is that the 1890s? Because you see those all over in Western movies. But I just don't know when the bullet cartridge replaced the musket. 1870s, 1880s? Okay. Oh, it was sooner than that? I don't know. I mean, I like to think myself as a history buff, but Civil War officers used cartridges. Oh, okay, the repeating rifle, yeah. My favorite time of history, non-biblical history, is Revolutionary War. That's my favorite history time to study. 1882 was the first rifle bullet. Cool. All right. Let's talk. Okay, let's do a little bit of editing. So, not there. Siobhan, thank you so much for the contribution to the 1 million lemons. All right, where is my for me, I love the Industrial Revolutions. I don't know why, but I just love closing my eyes and seeing the old coal mines, the shrill shriek of a steam whistle, the loud chuffing of steam engines, and just the sound of machinery. That does sound fun. Yep, thanks again. Yeah, you can, every stream, 2K a stream. Thanks, Moonrider. Sleep well. Good night. Okay, so what I'm showing on, I use Evernote, and I do enjoy Evernote. It's an odd love because it's a horrible time for anyone. Yeah. Rose-colored glasses of history. Yeah. I think a time of history that I think is pretty cool is the 1910s in the eastern United States. I think that's pretty cool, but I don't know it really well. Mostly Laura Ingalls Wilder's Farmer Boy book. I just thought that was a cool time frame. I did like I've read the Laura Ingalls Wilder's books a couple times. I really enjoyed that series as a slice of what it was, of a representation of the time period. I mean, there are some problematic things if you take it. If that book was written and published today, there are some problematic things of it in it. But as a window into the thoughts of a young child who grew up in poverty in that era, it is a really interesting window into that time period. Found my deep love when we went on to Pennsylvania and rode on the steam locomotives. To hear the sound of the bells and whistles and the chuffing and riding on the luxury cars, I can see why people love trains. Going through the old Pennsylvania mining towns and such. That sounds fun. That does sound fun. As long as they have a good Wi-Fi connection. Sorry. I'll try to be sorry. Okay. So, all right. So what I have here, paper cartridges were used as early as 1845. Early metal cartridges were in use by the end of the Civil War and commonly by the end of the 1860s, but the cap and powder were still crude. Really, a paper cartridge? that they could just literally take the paper cartridge and slide it in like a bullet today? Really? Wow. Huh. The cap and powder were still crude. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and the invention of the metal cartridge. Yeah, I bet that just makes the transportation and the likelihood of something blowing up a lot less likely. I could only imagine that a paper cartridge. But were the paper cartridges fulminated mercury caps, black powder, smoky, and easy to misfire? Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds scary. Also less likely to get wet and ruin the powder. Oh yeah, paper cartridges. Those could easily get wet and ruin it. Yeah, I could see that. You you can tell I am not a flintlock author or anything of the like. Okay, so what I do okay, do need to get into some edits here. Here at the end. Okay, so what I'm working on as far as edits here, and hopefully people have edits as well, is that there are like I am creating this for a submission for an anthology contest that's coming up, that's hosted by a local writing group of which I'm a member, and I need to get that done. I am not either, but I had to study to learn more about the day-to-day life in that time frame, since most industrialization was fueled by the economics of war. Yep. We all become, yeah, us writers, we do become amateur historians. Definitely. Ooh, sorry. Long day. Okay. So, what I am need to work on is I do have this story here, the Runaways Return, and what a process that I'm trying to work out for editing is to make it more systematic. And here I have 5 different line edits that I want to go through. I spent early time in the SCA and learned quite a bit about Middle Ages and early Renaissance. I don't know what the SCA is, unless that's summer camp something. Society for Creative Anachronism. Wow. Oh, okay. Creative. Wow, that sounds fun. Cool. Oh, medieval Renaissance reenactors. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you would have to learn a lot in that. All right. So, all right. Posture check. I guess I don't think I have my camera very well adjusted tonight. All right. So, let's go ahead and have a writing sprint or an editing sprint or just a couple minutes of music. So, and just try to work through a little bit of that so we can have some edit. And actually, it is evening edit, so let's call it evening edits, and do that for at least one, maybe two, in the half hour that remains. That way I could yawn without making anyone else out there yawn as well. So, I'm going to be working. I haven't really gone through this story recently, and so I'll be looking at for character and descriptions, and also just seeing if I can get this story better documented and formatted well for manuscripts. So we'll do that as well. So let me turn on, where are you? There you are. Okay. We have our snaz. I think what we'll do is we'll just do one 15-minute and just go in, work on something, whether it's new fiction or editing existing fiction. And I am so sorry. I got the yawns now. All right, and we'll just work on that, and then I'll catch everyone on the flip side. All right, how did everyone do? Yeah, editing face is not a pretty face to behold, that's for sure. Yeah, I didn't get very far into this first scene here. Did anyone read over my shoulder? So, what did everyone work on? How did I do? Well, I was relaxing. Outlines for chapters. Good. Mapping. All right. All right. Well, I'm glad everyone was able to participate. I hope that you had a fun evening tonight. Well, I recently got home from work after joining the stream. Need to consider dinner before going out yet again. Yep, that's true. But dinner's important. About 150 words after editing and moving some stuff around. Okay. Reading the Dungeon Master's Guide. Yes. Gifted Gabby, I hope that you have a chance to catch Sable's husband Aaron, his streams when he talks. He has great, wonderful insight in being a dungeon master, as well as RPG Dinosaur Bob. Those are two great places to talk about DMing. Okay. All right. Well, I think we should probably call this a wrap for tonight. And Oh, and DM. Oh, and DM stretch. Oh, okay. Yeah. When they're awake and streaming, yeah. Oh, you bet. It's fun listening to his experience. Yeah. And all right, so thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you also so much for, I think we are at 1% of a million already. Yeah, 1% raised. We have 18,250 lemons. The 250 was my testing of the lemons. So 18,000 lemons towards the 1 million lemons for the 24-hour NaNoWriMo stream. Thank you so much. Come again tomorrow morning for morning marches, where we will continue I will continue writing new planning for my Celestial's Condescension. And as far as, okay, ooh, yeah, let's look at my calendar. I will raid you and drop lemons. Wonderful. I will see you in the morning then. No, this is not my calendars. Okay, so this is tonight. Yes, I will be here in the morning marches. And Friday nights, I will not be doing a World Anvil related stream, so you will not see me streaming on the calendar there, because I only put my World Anvil, world building, and writing streams on the publicly shared calendar for the Anvilite Streamer Core. I may play some computer games. My son really wants to get into YouTubing and streaming, playing games together. And so Friday nights will be the nights where my son and I work together on probably a Minecraft or a Pixelmon world. And so that will be that. I need to delete, okay, I need to delete this one. Saturday, I will be spending time with my family Sunday morning about, okay, one check on, let me finish this and I'll answer that question. So Saturday, I will not be available to stream with family commitments. So Friday, tomorrow morning, will be my last stream of the week, but I will be back Monday morning, the 10th, for more morning marches, and I expect a full week of streaming, and also the first Saturday morning stream where we'll go extra long. And hopefully by next week, I'll be able to get all of the technology and the games installed and everything like that for my family fun night of streaming. So that's still out. That's still out there. Okay, so Barbarossa, how much history do you put into articles? It depends on the word count. And how much I can think about it. If you take a look at my terribly written Summer Camp World Anvil articles, it depends on how much I knew about the prompt at hand. If I didn't know something about the prompt, I put in a lot of history. If I knew a lot about the prompt, I put in very little history. And my main objective was to get the 300 to 600 words so that I could satisfy the requirements of the article. Now, for generally speaking, my World Anvil World of Saga Dorm has as much history as is described in my fiction. It is not a role-playing guide. It is not a role-playing world, so there is not as much history in there because that is not the main focus of my world. I'm using it to document just enough history so I can keep track of what I have mentioned in the stories that I publish. So the question on how much article anyone should put would greatly depend on the purpose of their world. As a writer, I put in as much as I put in my stories, and maybe a little bit of extra to be able to document story ideas or branches off that I could take into other things. I suppose that's a good suggestion. I'm curious because I'm working on that world of Duerna. I'm worried of going a bit too far with history. Agile world building. I love that concept that Dimitri and Janet have of building enough of a world history to be able to help your players go through their campaigns. Avoid the elven shoes. You don't need to think about that. The elven shoes. So that's that would be my recommendation, is not to think too much about that, not to document too much. Since Duerna is more for novels and such, I would see this as I have a lot of I talk a lot about the cores. I talk a little bit about the dragons, but the World Anvil summer camp prompts were a huge addition to my history, probably doubled the size of my typed written words in my world from that one challenge, because I hadn't done a lot of history, and these are just a lot of great new ideas from which I can build new stories. Siobhan, history in my world is only as needed to give background for current situations and prompts for other stories. Exactly. Because that is just exactly depending on what you need the world for. So hopefully that's helpful. Yes, unless elven shoes are important to the plot. I really don't have a desire to rework the shoemaker's elves into my world unless I did it as a complete joke for just to spite World Anvil, but I don't want to do that right now. I have too many other fun ideas to go forward. But yeah, so I think that's a good question. You do you, because the whole idea about world builder's disease is that you get so invested in building the world that you forget to write your stories. And that's the challenge that we need to prevent, is because if you are working a ton on building your world but not writing the stories, then you need to cut back on the history. And that's I have now so much history from summer camp. I probably don't even need to write any more history until next summer camp, because there's just so much built in there already. It's going to be interesting to see what happens during World Ember in December, to see how much history I actually do build. And I may spend World Ember as documenting things that I already have in my stories and just polishing and fleshing out articles to get stuff that I have in stories that I've already written and then move that over. Funny story, I know someone who plays D&D and he creates such detailed maps with so many shoe shops, and his players get annoyed with him, but he tells them, "You're going to want to check out each and every shoe shop, as one shop contains a pair of magical shoes." That's mean. That is just mean. All I know is 3 things about Duerna. Its borders are dangerous, expansive empire called Grest. Duerna won a war recently with them. Oh, it borders a dangerous. Okay, white. white surrender. Dwerna is in the midst of an industrial revolution. Okay, so these are the things that you know about your world. So let's expand on those things. Yeah. Fast solution: burn the town down, and the shoes that survive are magical. For no reason. That is an excellent solution. It depends if you want to propagate the idea of murder hobos. Yeah, just because something's magical doesn't mean it's fireproof. Because of the prompts in summer camp, it reinvigorated my drive to write my novel. Excellent! I have a few more articles to finish from summer camp stubs, but they can wait until I absolutely need that information. Excellent point. Yes, Siobhan, excellent point. Either way, that'll teach the DM. Yeah, don't fill out a stub until you need to. I have... for like open and Madrimillion pops up his head. Where's the rest of my crew? Like here, I have some new articles. Argentric, those who are helping me name my dragons, Argentric. And let's take a view at this expansive and wonderful article that you can't see because I haven't shared my screen. Yeah, murder hobos. Yeah, that's true. That is my entire article on Argentric, and yet he is a pretty influential person. And that's all that's going to be there about him until I write a story about him. So until this person gets a story of their own, there is not going to be more of an article. But to go back to your earlier prompt about the 3 things you know about it, find the conflict. Find a person to tell the conflict and their point of view of the conflict and how they're going to overcome it. And just because there's a war with Grest, that doesn't mean that has to be a war story. You could tell a wonderful romance in that situation. You could tell an adventure. You could tell a drama of a soldier returning home to find that his village has changed for some reason. You have such a rich tapestry, even from those 3 points of 3 things, because you have 2 whole nations that are done with war. You have an industrial revolution. The tale of an old man who can't keep up because of industrialization, an old craftsman who can't compete with the factory down the road. Stuff like that. You could do a lot with that. But it just depends on what kind of story you want to tell. Warhorse. I don't know that. I'm not. I don't get. I'm not understanding the reference to Warhorse. A young man eager to war versus the old man who fought in the Boer Wars. Yeah. Yeah. And see, you don't have to be stuck to one story, because you could tell, if you want to, what part of this world excites you the most. If what excites you most is the soldiers in the war, write that. If what most excites you is what the impact of the war on the home front, write that. And because that's a great idea. Young man eager to war. Ooh, even better. Tell stories from both sides, Siobhan recommends. Yeah. A dual protagonist story where they're unknowing antagonists of each other. I love the story of the Christmas miracle of World War I, where the Allies and the Axis powers stop for Christmas Day, and they sing Silent Night to each other in English and in German. Because that is a story showing the humanity of both sides of the conflict. I love that story. And you could have something similar. Because truly, I mean, you can demonize the leaders of war, but the soldiers are human. Yeah. So, yeah, that's fun. That is fun. Okay. So, who is out there? Who is out there that we can raid tonight? Does anyone have any raid recommendations? Huh. The SLM is still going? Cool. And of course, we're probably going to get a commercial. Yep, CBS. Our new CBS. It does look like a funny cartoon, though. I will admit that. All right, so we are going to raid the SLM, and when you get there, remember to shout out Lemon Raid and wish everyone the best. I will see you tomorrow morning for morning marches, and until then, have a great night. Thanks, everybody.